You are literally taking more risk right now not owning Bitcoin than having it.
Oh my God.
Like not having it is screwing you more than having it.
That's an insane statement.
Yeah.
Just to see that building overrun, it's deeply symbolic, and obviously we've seen other stuff like that this year with the BLM protests, and we've seen buildings burning, but to see the capital of the United States overrun is a very moving sight and a very disturbing sight, and I think it's indicative of how serious this has gotten in the country. And I think there was a lot of time this year where people were like, "Oh, this is sentiment."
Right.
This is no longer sentiment. There are not to make fun or even discount how serious this is. The shit stains of this country have taken our Capitol building. These are the inbred redneck fucks of America. And I'm not talking about the right as a whole, a tiny percentage of the fringe right. Similar to the tiny percentage of the fringe left that destroyed buildings during the BLM protests.
Right.
This is fucked. This is fucked and is disturbing. And I got off the phone with my brother-in-law just now, who has been deployed multiple times to defend this country, and he is almost in tears over this.
Right.
It's disgusting. And now what we've also seen is Trump has taken aim at Mike Pence. So the Pence-Trump relationship era has come to an end. It looks like Pence is ordering these people to stand down and to leave the Capitol building and to act responsibly. Trump will not make the same tweet.
And this all started because they tried to.
So what's happening right now is today was, I believe, the day that the Electoral College votes were being counted, and it was not. Well, so the Georgia runoff happened last night, but long story short, this is all happening during the time of this final decision-making around who will be the next president of the United States. Obviously, we know that the elected president is going to be Biden. Trump has repeatedly claimed fraudulent election, what is now being looked at as a conspiracy theory. Was the election perfect? Absolutely not. Was there problems with voting machines? Maybe. But the Supreme Court has said there's not enough here. The state courts have said there's not enough here, and that there is a president-elect. Now, what you're seeing is Trump's continued fiery rhetoric compelling these people to storm our fucking federal buildings. A crime which he tweeted a couple months ago would be punishable by 10 years in prison when it was done to statues.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so now, the question will be, will he have that same fiery rhetoric towards the people who have now stormed, assaulted police officers? I want to make it clear, I condemned any kind of violence at BLM timing too. If you broke into buildings, if you assaulted cops during the BLM protests, you're a piece of fucking shit. You are a piece of shit. I'm sorry. And if you're doing it today, you're a piece of shit. And so a lot of good people are condemning this completely, but it's a scary time. And
2021 not off to the best start. Fuck, to put it lightly, fuck.
I mean, yeah.
We didn't want to start on such a heavy note. Andre, we apologize. And by the way, welcome to Impulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. I got an intro for you. I'll read it here shortly.
Thanks,
but yeah, it is tough when the world around you is at this particular moment quite literally falling, right? Yeah. So we wanted to address it, and it is sad. I am so optimistic for the day where we can get past this nonsense and America once again becomes united.
It's just honestly, and I know there's two sides, and I know that me even talking about it will piss people off, but like, regardless of what side you're on right now, this is just embarrassing for us. The world is watching and laughing and looking at a very weakened America. We are weaker than we've ever been before since maybe the Civil War. Everyone is mad. Everyone is divided. And it's just a really disgusting time. And honestly, like, if your only hope is not that we start to remedy this divide, then you are un-American. You are not a real American. The only thing I want deep in my core is for this to stop, for this embarrassing era of American history to come to an end and for us to start to heal as a country. And if that is not your only, hope here, then we've got a bigger issue than it seems.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Let's hit the reset button.
Kanye West, fuck Jeffree Star.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Kanye West. It's not true.
How do you know, Dylan?
Very specific gossip.
Dylan, how the fuck would you know whether or not Jeffree Star
was there.
sucked off Kanye West?
It didn't happen, and now Virgil Abloh either. Apparently, that's rumor too.
So he's just making up whose dick he's sucking?
Apparently, that was
Just-
rumor that him and Virgil.
He always has a lot of off-white shit.
No, it's not true.
Why are you guys in uniform?
That's what I was wanting to know. Was this planned?
Wait, hold on. Just,
How can we see this? Why are you guys both wearing bright yellow Tyson Ranch t-shirts?
Mike Tyson podcast is the best podcast.
Oh, okay,
Trying to,
okay.
like, keep the energy high.
Okay, I got you. All right, well, we're gonna try to. Wow, I can almost guarantee that was the worst camera movement anyone has ever seen. Shout out, Mike. Okay, so we're gonna try to one up the Tyson podcast today. Guys, with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, our guest today is committed to the magic of finance and helping you on your financial journey. He was also the lead cardistry expert on Now You See Me Too. It's Andre Jick.
How you guys doing? Thanks for
What's
having
up,
me.
brother?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
for having me.
Your microphone looks abnormally high.
It does. Let me lower it.
you could even just tilt it down
tilt
the
it.
top, and then it will. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So look, dude, we're called impulsive for a reason. Kind of scatterbrained, a little ADHD all over
Sure.
the place. But we brought you and you flew in today from Vegas.
Yeah.
Right, to come on this
Just
podcast.
landed, yeah.
Okay, and you came right to this
That's
house.
right, yeah.
Amazing, bro. Amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for wasting your time and coming.
And it's so we should preface to it spawned out of our last episode
Yep.
and just the current happenings of this past week, which has been a further Bitcoin and crypto boom spurred by this institutional buying that's happened over the past few weeks or month or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And we were on this rampage. We're like, dude, we got to find somebody to talk to, and here you are.
Yeah, a lot of people recommended you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
in our comments.
Yeah, you had a lot of
How
supporters.
wrong they were.
So let's talk.
You got the shirt, bro. You
What
got
do
the shirt.
Why you downplay yourself? Like you're
It's just a shirt.
it says Bitcoin on it, premium playing cards.
That's right.
Okay, all right, but you came into the house and you're like, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know why you brought me up.
That's not
I'm not
true.
an expert.
Yes, you are.
All right, I'm an expert.
You are. You are an expert.
I told him you might have said the classic, I'm not an expert, like don't rely on me for fiscal responsibility.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
why you say it? Or
A little
no?
bit of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you or are you not an expert? Like what is where does this come from? Were you into finance before crypto?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came when I was 9 years old to America from Russia, and my parents were Cirque du Soleil acrobats. So they were performers.
And you
I was
followed
a-
in their footsteps.
Yeah, I was a circus kid. But every performer sucks at money. Like they make good money, but they don't know how to manage it.
Right.
So my whole life I was growing up and I was like, what do I do with money? Like I don't want to be like my parents, because when they came here, they didn't know what credit cards were. They didn't know what investing accounts were. So I was like, I don't want to be like them. So
Right.
I started to learn magic because my dad showed me a magic trick. And
that was so like left field. Like I don't want to be like them.
anyway, I started to learn
I got into magic.
Yeah.
Seems like you went straight to that direction, man. Are you the
Basically,
opening act now.
not talented like my parents were, and I wasn't. So yeah, and eventually I got the role for Now You See Me, where I taught the cast for 2 weeks in London. It was super
Are
cool.
you responsible
What?
for that one scene?
The white lab scene? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
The-
where they hide the card behind
Yes.
their hand and they,
Yeah, so John Chu, the director, and I, we kind of worked on that for a couple months, and yeah, it took 2 weeks to shoot. It was
that one
crazy.
scene took 2 weeks.
2 weeks to shoot it, yeah.
That scene has been watched so many
Yeah.
times.
Dude, that scene is insane.
It's also you recreating it is your most viewed video on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. It
25
was.
million views. I won't play it
million.
here, but that's crazy. But why did that scene take 2 weeks to shoot? I'm
Because we
curious.
taught the actors how to do everything in that scene for real.
Oh.
Like we literally taught them step by step how to throw cards, how to palm it, how to do everything.
Okay, very cool. And
So-
so you are an expert, right? We can do it later, but I want to have you throw a card at Can you cut a banana in half?
Theoretically, but I haven't done it in so long that I could try.
But you're like sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So
we'll show you some stuff.
man of many talents.
Yeah, and for some reason I'm like slightly not surprised that the Bitcoin expert is also a closet magician.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm like? And so that's what I want to try to combat today is this idea that Bitcoin is fugazi.
Yeah.
Now you see it.
Yeah.
17,000, 35,000.
Yeah.
But
And now
also
you
it's
don't.
not backed by anything except
Right.
for mined data.
Yeah,
like
man.
what the fuck is Bitcoin?
What the fuck is Bitcoin,
What is it,
Andre?
bro?
What
For
they're
the
trying to
people who
ask
don't
is like,
know.
what is Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If you figure it out, let me know. No, but okay, so man, where do I start? So in 1964, there was this physicist, he's a Russian physicist named Nikolai, I forget.
Is everyone
Kardashev.
named Nikolai
Kardashev.
there?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and Vladimir.
And Vladimir.
Vladimir, yeah. Which is literally my middle name.
Right.
Yeah, so Nikolai Kardashev, right? So he created Kardashev.
Oh my God, I thought he said Kardashian. I go, that's how
Kardashev.
that's
How
how
they
they
get the money.
Kardashev.
Okay.
Yeah. So he created 3 types of classifications to try to, like, if we look for alien races out there on the planets, how do we find them, right? And we would find them by trying to find their energy output, right? So the more advanced they are, the more energy they use. And so he created 3 types of different civilizations. There's type 1, type 2, and type 3. So type 1 is called a planetary civilization, which is more of an interplanetary civilization that focuses on getting its energy from the sun, from its planet. They control the weather, earthquakes, volcanoes. They can stop anything they want. That's a type 1. There's a type 2, which is it's not a galactic one. It's a interstellar. It's a stellar planetary civilization. And so what that is, it's they use just this. Have you heard of the Dyson sphere?
No, is that
It's
a
a vacuum cleaner, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the vacuum.
That's so good.
Dyson.
I hate both of you guys.
Because
so
our
much.
brains
Have you heard of it?
No, I didn't, but I did hear the vacuum, so that's why I'm actually kind of upset.
So good.
Because the only thing I related to right now was the fucking vacuum.
Dyson sphere.
Yeah. So it's like these metal things that float around the Earth,
Okay.
or the sun,
Okay.
where it tries to mine the energy from the sun, right? And so once a civilization reaches type 2, it goes immortal, and so it can't be killed because they go to other planets.
Okay.
So that species can't really be wiped out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
They go to other planets.
Sure, it's hard to fully grasp what you're saying. This Dyson sphere is a hypothetical megastructure that completely encompasses a star and
Yeah.
captures a large percentage of its power output. Okay, so what could type 3 possibly
Yeah, that's all
be?
I can think about right now.
Right,
is what's
right,
that
right.
Herpes.
So
Yeah, it's like,
It's actually immortal on your cock. You just fucking.
stays with you. Yeah.
type, I'm excited.
I'm itching to know, man. Tell me.
So type 3 is Star Wars, right?
Oh.
Where they're galactic. They could travel to different galaxies.
Holy shit.
So
That is type
okay,
3.
so
Which one are we?
what's Bitcoin, man?
So we
How do I pay at Walmart with this? Wait, like they're like, sir, your total's $36.72.
You don't understand.
For your Dyson vacuum cleaner. How would you like to pay? I'm like, I'm from the Dyson sphere, dude. Can I pay? Like,
you don't understand. I'm type 3.
Hey, you guys brought an expert about Bitcoin?
No, and also, no, because he's obviously an expert on a lot of things. I thought he was gonna start with Satoshi Nakamoto,
Nah.
but clearly it started way before. Okay,
No,
so-
we're gonna go meta.
Okay, you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
clearly. So get us to get
So
us.
you
to
got magic
2000
tricks. We know Star Wars.
Get us to 2009.
Maybe we chill out. Let him explain.
Yeah.
himself.
Okay.
All right, so Dyson.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so type 3 is Star Wars, right?
Okay.
Where they're galactic and they can travel to different galaxies. On this scale, we are 0, right?
Oh.
Because we get our energy from dead plants and coal, and our energy is brought to you by ExxonMobil.
Fucking novice,
Yeah. Right?
Novice
Right,
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're noobs, yeah. We're like 0.7, theoretically.
Okay.
We did invent the wheel, so let's chill out. on
We're
this
getting
one.
there.
Sorry. And one was able to garner their energy from.
The stars.
From
from its host star, but it gathers it from from
Would
the sun.
that mean that solar is
Solar
our
power.
first step
That's
to
right.
becoming type
So-
1?
so
Let's
we-
fucking go.
So we are
Nice.
seeing evidence every day when we wake up that we are becoming a type 1 civilization. So
Got
for
it.
example, type 1 language is English, right? Because it's a language that's spoken all around the world as a second language pretty much. So that is a type 1 civilization's form of language. Our entertainment, our education, those are social medias now. We're connected by Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those. We are connected together with our You just like
Is it just my face? How I look? It's funny to you?
I think it looks funny too.
Yeah, I do too. It's literally my trademark. Jeff, why are you clapping? There's no need for the applause. It was funny, but I don't think he had to do an ovation for it. He stood up out of his seat and shit.
He's like, finally, someone said it.
something to him.
And it was the expert.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So the type 1's form of money that we have right now is the next biggest step.
Got it.
So the transition between 0 to 1 is literally the most dangerous transition that a society can go through. Because maybe that's the reason why we're not finding intelligent life out there on Earth, because they just self-destruct by that time. Because what happens with type 1 is all this technology and information becomes what's called democratized, right? Like everyone has access to any kind of information, weaponry, anything else. So imagine if like a radicalized country gets a hold of how to build an atom bomb.
Not
What
good.
happens? Not
Problematic.
good.
But
right.
but it is happening.
But it's literally happening right
yeah.
now.
Oh.
So in the next 90 to 100 years, that's going to be our transition to a type 1. And the next phase is probably going to be the most important phase of our lifetime, which is a type 1 money.
Because that's
that
what
is-
it's all about at the end of the day.
Ah.
right?
Does that make sense
Currency.
where I'm going with this?
I know.
All
I
right.
see what you're doing.
All right.
Before we go too far into the rollover to type 1, because I'm sure we won't get back to this to type 2 and type 3.
Yeah.
Would the transition from type 1 to type 2 and 3 be transforming it from English to math so that you could have conversation with other
Not
life
necessarily.
form? Okay.
No. It's just a planetary language for us because it's spoken by everybody.
Got it.
But I could see how math might be a type 3 language because math
Or
is
two.
universal across the universe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's how we communicated when we sent out the probe with the gold disc. It was just our music or math. And
Right.
we're like, hey, here's where we're located. And we literally use math to try to.
Right.
Yeah, so it might be. That's a good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
maybe.
so let's get back to crypto. Go ahead.
But anyway, so yeah, type 1 civilization's form of money is, we think it's going to be crypto. Because it's like money for the world. Because every time you travel, you have to get like different currencies, right? There's like the yen,
Yep.
there's the ruble,
Yep.
and it sucks to have to convert your money. So imagine that we have access to a money that is global all across the world for everyone to use. So for the first time in human history, we have control over money. Because like if you ask like what is money at the end of the day, is influence, right? That's all it is. Money is influence and power. And for thousands of years, that power has belonged exclusively to the elite and to the governments of the world. Right?
So it's a the words I've been hearing are decentralized currency.
Nice.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay, so go on your pitch
Yeah.
though.
Right, so it's a,
Oh shit, are we doing that?
no, I'm
Oh,
kidding, I'm kidding.
No, we can for sure.
No, let's not go there right
As
now.
long as you don't try to tell me that that's who stole the election.
No,
we can
no.
we can get it.
Yeah, so finally we have control over our money. For the first time, it's a money that is democratized, that is made by the people, for the people, that is governed by the laws of mathematics, that is owned by literally nobody. And that's why they say it's decentralized. Because you cannot shut it down. It's literally like the internet right now. The Pandora's box has been opened, and now it's like, how do you shut it down? You can't, because there's no off switch. You cannot turn off the internet right now, unless we had like a solar flare or something where electricity just got fucked, right?
Gotcha.
But as far as what Bitcoin is, you cannot turn it off. It just is now. And so it's a money that for the first time in human history has not had to ask for permission to exist from our government. Because PayPal tried to do that originally. They wanted to create their own money, and the government shut them down. They were like, no, screw you. We're not giving up control.
Why did that not work? But crypto is.
Because the government can shut down a company or a CEO and throw them in jail. A company
And
has to.
cryptocurrency has no.
It has no owner. It has no central point of failure. That's why they say it's decentralized.
We don't know who invented Bitcoin.
Not really.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
We have the
I
nickname.
hear this name. Who's this guy?
So this Satoshi Nakamoto, which was, so the whole crypto network was launched in 2009, right? And it was under the pseudonym, this fake name of Satoshi Nakamoto. But we think it's either a dude or a group of people that were really smart that just put this together. There's a few identities who we think he is, but you can just Google it and you'll find who they are.
Okay.
But it's like really debated and contested.
So then who's this guy?
So that's a dude who I think people thought it was. Dorian, yeah. He's a dude who
this
lives
guy?
in California, I think, actually.
You know, you think they all start going up to her like, Satoshi, thank you so much. He's like, dude, I just mow people's
no,
lawns.
somebody-
Like, oh, my
somebody-
name's Fred.
Who are you?
Dude, somebody literally asked that guy, I was like, are you Satoshi Nakamoto? And he's like, I'm not involved in that project. I haven't been in a while. And apparently he was like a government contractor. And so when this came out publicly and the media just like attacked him, they were like, holy shit, are you Satoshi? He's like, no, I misunderstood the question. He's like, I thought you were talking to me about my government secret projects. No, I wasn't talking about that.
What?
So he totally denied it. And then something happened with Bitcoin where on some website that hadn't been active for forever was like, I am not Dorian Nakamoto. So it's like whoever's behind it was like, no, the guy's not it.
This is all scary.
Or that was him just being like, I need
Or
these
it
guys to
could
get off.
literally, it could have been that.
We interrupt this program to bring you a word from our sponsors. Every new year, all you hear is new year, new me. That usually means you'll be picking up better habits or trying new things. And if you take up a new hobby, it's even better when you have amazing audio that will make the experience even better. That's why I recommend wireless earbuds from Raycon. Whether it's following along to directions in the kitchen, bringing an audiobook while learning to knit, or powering through a new workout with a pumped up playlist in your ear, a pair of Raycons can make any activity easier and a better time. Raycon makes great sound accessible to everyone. Their wireless earbuds start at about half the price of other premium audio brands. And guess what? If you're thinking about having white stems dangling out of your ears, if you think that looks ridiculous, that's something you don't have to worry about with Raycons. They come in a range of stylish colorways, but also with a comfortable in-ear fit for a more discreet look. And they don't just look great. Raycons perform wherever you take them with up to 6 hours of playtime, water and sweat resistant construction, and Bluetooth that pairs quickly and seamlessly. You've heard me say this before, so if you still don't have a pair of Raycons, really got to wonder why. Raycon's offering 50% off all their products for my listeners, and here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/Logan. That's it. You get 15% off your entire Raycon order, so feel free to grab a pair and a spare. 15% off at buyraycon.com/Logan. Back to the program.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Now you're saying that it's controlled by the people.
Yeah.
What happens when like taxes get involved? Because like the only thing that I'm sure of is I pay taxes and I'm gonna die.
Right.
So like, at what point is the government's gonna get involved and be like,
Dude, taxes.
that's the only two? Like, you know what I mean? Like even religious people are like,
Dude, taxes and Bitcoin are the best thing ever because the way our taxes work right now is we have no real say over where our tax money goes. And so imagine with the use of blockchain, which we'll get into in a second, like what that is. But I guess we can get into it now. So how blockchain works, right? So Bitcoin is based on something called blockchain technology, which is basically like, so imagine if you sent me a Bitcoin or I sent you one, right? Our little transaction gets put into what's called a block.
A ledger?
Yeah, but imagine like a Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
Like literally a Rubik's Cube, right? Yeah. But it's a small size. It can only fit so many little transactions before there's a new block that has to be made. But so all these transactions fit inside this Rubik's Cube, and you as a miner who has basically this person with a computer who's solving these equations, right? And the reason you're incentivized to do that is because once you solve the little Rubik's Cube, those transactions that you and I had sent between each other, they get confirmed or like verified.
Yep.
They're official. And that's every 10 minutes that these Rubik's Cubes get solved. And then they move on to the next block. These blocks are 1 megabyte in size. So they can only contain so many transactions before we have to move on to the next one, into the next one, into the next one. And so that's how our transactions get verified. And so anyone can participate in the network and be a miner and try to solve these. And whoever's computer is more powerful, they get the majority of the reward.
So, okay, so stop right there with that statement.
Okay. Does that make sense? Does
Yes.
everything make sense?
No, but yes.
Okay.
Let's make
Well,
believe it
yes,
does.
but no.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't understand it at all, because even if everything was
Yeah.
Bitcoin now,
Yeah.
I'd still think in my like experience with money,
Yeah.
whoever has the most of it is in control.
Well, hold on. So I haven't got to the tax part yet. So
Yep.
okay, so it's decentralized in a way where everyone can participate in the network, right? It's kind of like torrenting, where like when you torrent a movie, not one real person really has the whole movie. It's like it's taking bits and pieces from everybody.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so Bitcoin has this like public ledger that you said, where every transaction and any action that happens on the blockchain is recorded on a public ledger that anyone can see what's going on. So the governments actually love Bitcoin because it's what's called pseudo-anonymous. It's not really anonymous, meaning if the government wanted to track what you were doing, they could. They could see where the code is going, into which wallet, right? So it's pseudo-anonymous. The beautiful part about that, though, is if we transitioned our tax system onto the blockchain, we would literally see where our governments moved money.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Imagine like senators, like the Georgia Senate runoff elections we just had, where we could track, hey, where does this dude get his money from? Which companies? How much?
This is all just, there's a lot, we've just talked about so much. I just want to slow down for a second. This is
Yeah.
all very scary stuff.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, and
Yeah.
I agree with you. But you made a statement that was whoever has the most powerful computer controls the most, whatever, or like this whole idea that cryptocurrency is decentralized and sticks it back to the powers that be.
Yeah, right.
What if all of the magicians, torrent nerds, redditors, all of these people work for 10 years, 20 years to create a perfect new global currency, only to have government pass one law that says, that's all ours now.
That's
We
the
now
beautif-
control- we
That's
now-
the beautiful part.
I get it, and I know, and this is just me playing advocate here.
No,
devil's advocate.
I got a great answer for that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead,
So the answer to that question is no government can ban it successfully, because where one country fails at accepting it, if the US is like, fuck crypto, you're going to go to jail. Switzerland is going to be like, come right on in.
I'm not as worried about
Does that make sense?
Why? Why?
Why? Because they want their businesses to be built in that country. They're like, oh, economic power, more for us. Great. You fucked up the opportunity. Now we're going to build it in our country. So the whole world cannot systematically ban it, because where one country doesn't want it, 10 others will be like, please come to us.
What about when the entire ecosystem becomes decentralized,
Right.
where that money is equal in weight in any country, and now now you have a ban that is a global ban, essentially.
It won't happen. Countries compete with each other for economic dominance. And so one country, if they ban it, another country will be like, well, if you don't want these trillions of potential dollars of business growth,
Yeah.
we'll have it.
Okay.
So it'll never happen.
What about just taking them?
They can't take them. As long as you have your private key, which is this string of numbers, which you could literally memorize in your head. I mean, it'd be really hard to, but you write them down on a piece of paper, you hide them somewhere, and as long as you have that number, there is no physical wallet that you could have that if you lost or was destroyed, that you couldn't recover your Bitcoin from the blockchain.
Got it.
What
Does that
about
make sense?
hackers?
And what happens if you lose that number or that number?
Then
gets
it's gone
compromised?
forever. Yeah.
So this
So the
could really fucking murder you. I got it.
wait. so the solution to that we're working on right now, and by we I don't mean like me and my team.
Yeah.
I don't mean like we, but like people that are way smarter than me. They're working on biometric identification, right?
Okay.
It's like your thumbprint,
Oh.
right?
Cool.
So it's like it'll be attached to your identity somehow.
Okay.
So instead of a long ass string of numbers, it'll be like, yeah, just put your thumb right here.
Yeah, because I know some people who have gotten fucked. 'cause
Yeah,
they
like,
lost
right.
their,
yeah.
they lost their key
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
hacked. Like,
or
I'm looking at
compromised via some sort of.
So there's a difference between leaving your money on the blockchain and leaving your money on an exchange like Coinbase or Gemini.
Okay.
Because hackers can hack the exchanges, but they can't hack blockchain. They've tried for 12 years now, 13 years almost.
Give it time.
There is literally hundreds of billions of dollars at stake. That is the biggest honeypot we've ever had ever, and they've not been able to crack it.
You don't think they'll
Just-
figure out a way? And,
One 11-year-old.
There's only one way that we can crack it right now, and that is quantum computing, which we don't have. It's like perpetually 10 years away.
But that's what I'm just getting at. It's like it's perpetually 10 years away, but like eventually it won't be. Eventually
what I'm
quantum
saying.
computing
Give it
will
time.
happen.
But there's a
And-
solution for that too, for Bitcoin. Like there's literally a backup plan. You know what it is?
No.
You've heard of it. You've heard of it. I'm sure you've heard of it. It happened in 2017.
entering the Dyson sphere.
Type 3.
Type 3.
It splits. The chain splits.
Halving.
Not the halvening, no.
Halvening.
You split the blockchain.
You split the blockchain into two different coins, where one path is the hacked one, which is the original. What we have right now is called the SHA-256 cryptographic algorithm.
Holy shit.
That's like the security that backs Bitcoin, right? So it would split into two separate chains, where one of them would be the one that was quantum hacked, and the other one could be based on a completely new set of
Back to
cryptographic rules
1,300
that is not
bucks.
quantum computing hackable, which is completely different, based on like different mathematics. Like
Who initiates the split?
it's the miners. So remember that those people that like solve the Rubik's
Yeah.
cube? Basically, it's the equivalent of them saying like, fuck these Rubik's cubes. Let's go to these other ones right here.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So if you own one, or let's say 10 Bitcoin on one chain and it splits, you will own 10 on both.
Whoa.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then there will just be a drop in.
And there will be a consensus. Yeah, probably that one will like lose value.
Yeah.
But the consensus model will go with the new chain that is still functional.
Gotcha.
So it's like it can't really be destroyed because when one gets destroyed, it splits into a different one.
How-
And so the natural next question that people ask is like, well, why can't you just like copy the chain? Like, what happens? What stops the government or anyone else just copying the code of Bitcoin because it's public? Like, why can't we make a duplicate of Bitcoin?
Right.
And the reason we can't is because Bitcoin is not just the code itself; it is what's called a network effect. Those are all the businesses that are built on it, all the miners, all the people that are involved. You can't replicate that. You can't copy paste that. You can copy paste the code, but all the support and the infrastructure that is running Bitcoin cannot be replicated by a copy paste job.
At the highest level, in all like seriousness, it's not that wild of a pipe dream to imagine that this could actually take place. Like when you look at what's actually backing the US dollar,
Right.
which is so important to people, and they spend their entire lives trying to buy houses with the US dollar, buy cars with the US dollar. The US dollar is a piece of paper. It's
Sure.
backed by nothing but trillions of dollars of debt. So there's nothing there.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it very much is becoming more and more believable that this actually can take place. But what it does, the byproduct of this actually happening, is the destruction of the elite. And I am just so curious to see how that happens and how
It's
that
already
goes.
happened.
I know, I get
so
that.
many times, right?
Right.
In history,
Yep,
we've had a transformation from, like, we've used resources like gems and seashells, and then it was like, all right, cool, let's move on to something else. I found this thing called gold, and everyone's like, all right, that's the new thing. So if you had gold, you were the next transfer of wealth goes to you. After that, we had oil, right?
But didn't it seem like a lot of the people with the most gems, their kids ended up with the most gold, and their kids ended up with the most oil?
Yeah, of
Do you
course.
know what I'm
There's
saying?
always
So like
that,
at the end of
yeah.
the day, it's all generational, anyways. Like you've got
In
white
some
kids,
respects.
you've got white kids in
Yeah.
Greenwich right now, Connecticut, that are pumping bank accounts crypto wallets,
Sure,
whatever,
sure.
filled with coins, so that in 120 years, their kids are going to Yale. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
for
And
sure.
so it's still
Nepotism, yeah, for sure. That's always gonna be around.
One thing that's in my mind is that when you said like knowing where a politician moves his money, or
Yeah,
transparency.
what I'm saying is I don't know if that necessarily would work, just because I believe every country's built off of a lot of dirty money, and I don't
Sure.
think they're gonna want to expose what they're actually
Well,
doing.
he's saying they don't have a choice.
They don't
That's what
have
I'm
a
saying.
choice.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna let that happen, and that's what I mean. I don't think
I
a
agree.
country's gonna do that, because they might want the money and power, but if it's gonna flip the switch on them where they don't have a say on things, like that's where people go, okay, do I want money or power? And a lot of people want power. Money is just a vehicle to give you power.
Right.
So if you're gonna trade in power for money, it's pointless in their eyes.
I get what you're saying, but in some ways they just don't have a choice where technology is going.
Right.
At some point, the reason that the government can't just get rid of it
Yeah.
is because it's about to become so relevant with the way that we use it every day that these politicians that we think are gonna ban it, they're gonna be like, wait, I can't ban that shit. I use it myself.
Does
that make sense?
Does the idea of those people that were always looked at as the enemy embracing the project scare you? You know what I'm saying? Like all the people that you're like, yo, these are the guys that we're trying to drain. All of a sudden they're like, Bitcoin. You're always welcome here, guys. Come on into the Senate. Let's talk about it. Like, does that scare the people that created this and
No.
getting in bed with the enemy?
No,
if you
because
will?
I think they're completely clueless as to what Bitcoin really is about. Right now, all it is for most people is it's like, it goes up in value and I got rich, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. But behind that, it's the most powerful tool that humanity has ever gotten. And they don't understand that yet.
Damn.
They don't get it.
Wow.
I have
Damn.
one more question for you.
So,
Well, you probably could do more even because we got some time.
Yeah, we got time.
Maybe.
Nope, I only have one, and that's it.
and then I'm out.
And I'm out leaving right after this question. I'm not even gonna listen to your answer. My question is, what happens when the government's like, okay, cool, this is like actually in effect and it's moving. Fuck Bitcoin. We're gonna bring all the brightest minds in the world to invent something equally as great as that.
Right.
But it's gonna be under our control. And
They're
our-
doing that.
They
They're
are
literally doing that right now.
Is,
and
is
it's
it,
not
is
working.
Is it a coin or is
It's
it
not
it's a blockchain?
It's hilarious because that's why I'm saying they don't get it. because they are trying to recreate the wheel, but instead of creating a wheel, they're like making it the most fucking complicated thing ever. So blockchain only works if it's going to be a decentralized kind of a thing. So what corporations are doing, they're like, guys, we restructured our banking system on the blockchain. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? You already have a database to do it for you. Why would you want to complicate it with a blockchain? It doesn't make sense to have a decentralized, centralized tech. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. It doesn't work. And so when they're like, we're advanced, guys, we get it. Come to us. We're advanced tech. It's like, dude, you missed the point.
Right.
It's not about having your database be decentralized because you fucking own it. You control it. That is not decentralized. By definition, it is not blockchain.
What about the
I'd like to
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
let me chime in.
Same
here,
time
please. Yeah. There's so much to unpack here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And I want to try to understand exactly maybe what a Bitcoin is before we go
Sure.
any further. So correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a finite amount of Bitcoin.
There is.
Correct.
21 million.
21 million. And
Yeah.
how many have been mined thus far?
Around 18.
18 million. And how is a Bitcoin mined, and how many are mined per day? You kind of already hit on it, right? Because is it are there miners
There, yeah.
sitting at supercomputers,
Right.
cracking equation until they what happens? Does a Bitcoin like pop up, or like where does it go?
Yeah.
Is it in the ether? Like what happens?
Yeah, so imagine, so I don't have like the numbers off the top of my head how many are created a day, but I do know that I think by the year 2144, so in about 120 years from now, that's when the last Bitcoin is going to be mined from the block.
Why so long on the final?
Because what's called the halvening, right?
Oh, the
So-
one I brought up earlier that
That's
had
right.
nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Because every time these people solve these Rubik's Cubes, after a while, the difficulty increases.
Yeah.
And that's just to make sure that if tomorrow we didn't create computers that could just mine everything all out at once, we're
Let's
making the
get it.
difficulty be exponentially increasing over time, so that we slow down on what's called the inflation of Bitcoin, so that it's not printed infinitely.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like built into
That's
it.
insane.
It gets difficult to
That
like
is
more
insane.
so beautiful, right?
Who came up with this?
I don't know.
This is crazy.
Satoshi
Is
Nakamoto.
it a miracle? Is it a miracle
it
that it
is-
happened, or was this like a very calculated, like
I don't know.
strategic objective with an endpoint?
It doesn't make sense because when people try to analyze like what the hell it was, there are so many things about it that it's like one person could not have created it, because there's like cryptography and coding and economics and game theory, and it's like one person, there's no possible way they could know and hit upon all these points. Like you just said, like it's like magic. Like so many things came together in the most elegant
It's almost like
way
a
ever.
bunch of elite people got together.
Oh, no.
And posed.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's
As no, I'm just kidding.
They're
probably
standing
happened in
on
a
a
garage
flat
like this.
earth.
I still want to know what happens when a miner, he's in his construction hat and he got his pickaxe over his
Yeah.
shoulder and he's at his his supercomputer and he cracks the equation. Like, where does the new Bitcoin go? Is it his?
Yeah, so that's, from what I understand, divided amongst the miners that were participating.
Okay.
Of how much work they put into it, how much power and energy consumption.
What is that occupation called? What do you do for a living? I mine Bitcoin. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
they
in
say?
Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm a miner. Yeah, I'm under 18.
What is it, Jeff? What,
It's
what do
computers,
these
yeah.
kids? What do these miners look like? Coal hats?
So we used to be able to mine Bitcoin with this computer.
A laptop.
We were like literally a laptop. People would just mine it with our gaming computer, and it was super easy. But then it got to a point where we had to create specific like ASICs, like these ASIC technology of these computer processors that were only supposed to be mining this stuff. And every cryptocurrency has its own like native, I guess, formula to mine it.
Okay.
Yeah, so exactly. So you see these, I think they're called, Bitmain Antminer. You see that right there?
Yeah.
That one right there, yeah.
So if I buy these,
So no, that one used to cost like 12 grand. Now it's 3 because it's not as powerful as it once was. So you need a ton of these. Like people, like literally,
entire rooms.
dude, a month ago I was in some dude's garage. The whole garage was just everything was just all these.
and
things.
he's a miner.
He's a miner.
And how many Bitcoin has he mined?
He's never told me. No one, like everyone is so secretive about this.
Yeah, and also he
'Cause
probably
they don't want anyone to know. They don't want the government to know.
Right. His is
Yeah.
probably like a novice setup compared to the ones that are.
Oh,
you know what I'm
dude,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like we've all seen the rooms at Google and Facebook with their data collection
For sure,
computers.
yeah.
I'm sure there are warehouses that have.
But
Yeah. Myco.
But here's what's crazy. So in
Oh, my
2017,
dog. Myco. Jeff. I love Jeff.
Always saying something over there.
He's the best.
Always saying something.
So you guys remember in 2017 how Bitcoin went to like 20 grand?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do, because I tried to invest back then.
Yeah.
And it was too risky
Yeah,
for
yeah.
my financial advisors to comfortably give me my own money to invest,
Fire them all.
and they didn't do. No, swear to God, and they didn't do it. And so now I'm feel like I'm late.
Right. You're not late. So what in 2017, there was a lot of FOMO, right?
Yeah.
But that was from what's called retail buyers, which are people like you and me, which are relatively not.
Oh my
So
god!
this time,
No!
it's institutional.
No!
So now you have corporations,
No!
companies that
Please,
are investing
no!
1% of their portfolio, which is
Fuck.
billions of dollars
Yeah.
There
into
we
Bitcoin.
go. We
Is
lost.
that why it's so high right now?
Ah,
That's what just
shit.
Yes, that's what's happening
Bitcoin's
right now.
at $35,948.
So you have guys like, I don't know, Stanley Druckenmiller, like all these super respected hedge fund managers that are starting to be like, oh shit, I finally get what this is. And so they're like, all right, let's put 1% in.
Even the not so. Even Scaramucci got involved.
Yeah, right. I saw
Sky-
that.
what's
Yeah,
his phone called?
Scaramucci, yeah,
Sky,
that's right.
Sky something.
That's right.
A regular person buy now if it's that much money?
Yeah, because you can split a Bitcoin, right? A Bitcoin
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
You,
You don't
have to
you can
buy
buy
the whole thing.
a fraction
you
of
can
a
split
Bitcoin.
100 million ways, I believe.
Yeah.
One Bitcoin. Yeah.
Where's this
So-
going, man?
Where's
Give me
this-
an exact target. I need to know
So
right
okay,
now.
that's a really easy example. So I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Bitcoin is going to surpass gold's market cap in about this decade, like in the next 10 years, the next 8 years probably.
What is that market cap? It's 200
so,
trillion?
No, so gold's market cap is 10 trillion,
Got
right?
it.
I think Bitcoin's is, look it up. Is it 650 billion?
Bitcoin.
I think it's like
market cap.
650.
And just for people who don't know, the market cap is what exactly?
It's like the combination of all the money in that space.
Okay, $350 billion for Bitcoin.
No, that's
was
incorrect.
December
That's
19.
incorrect. Yeah, it's
So
like
it's-
six. It's
yeah.
in the 600s.
Well, that-
So Bitcoin's market cap could hit 1 trillion in 2021.
yeah, but what is it
I
right now?
see.
It's like 600. Go to Coin Market Cap right there. Yeah.
This?
Yeah. All right. There we go. 671. So divide, whoever has a calculator, divide 1,000
supply.
by 67.
I could do this.
Divide 1,000 by 67.
Divide 1,000 by 67.
Yeah. What does it say?
1,000 divided by 67. 14.9.
Okay. Now multiply 14.9 times 36,000.
Yeah. That's where it's going. Oh no. Oh shit.
537,313.
Hey
Yeah.
mom, can I have a few more dollars to put into my Bitcoin?
So
account?
that's gonna happen this decade.
Yeah.
But that's not the end result. That's just like peanuts for now.
what?
Yeah. That's in the short-ish term.
In 10 years, 1 decade,
If
what
it
could
becomes-
Bitcoin possibly be at?
If it becomes like a global reserve world currency like gold used to be, then it could be in the multiple millions per coin. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm rich.
Yes.
I bought. Yeah.
But that's but here's the thing. Here's the thing. By that point, when Bitcoin is worth $1 million, like stuff that you think you could afford right now would be 10 times the amount.
Oh, no.
Inflation, right?
Yeah.
So it's not so much that Bitcoin is going up in value as much as the dollar is falling in relation to it. Because as we pump more
Oh my
dollars, to
god!
buy the same
I'm
thing.
giving up my
Bitcoin is
cruise!
increasing
Okay.
because we're pumping so much money into the system.
So basically what that means is if
Yeah.
Bitcoin does that,
Right.
Oh my god, I'm rereading.
Then
Oh my god, I'm rereading.
the result and what you make out of it is not as great as
damn it.
what people think it really is because of the relationship with what you have to buy with it. So my question is, there's a lot more inherent risk with it with a Bitcoin investment because the upside potential
thank
is blocked
God.
by the relationship to what it
He's
will cost
retarded.
to purchase things with said profits.
No, they're not that far. It's not like such a close relationship.
Okay.
It's still a. you're
Oh
literally
my
taking
god,
more
he
risk right
missed
now
it!
not owning
He
Bitcoin
missed it!
Than having it.
Oh my
Like-
God.
Like not having it is screwing you more than having
that's
it.
that's an insane statement.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And there's more than one cryptocurrency, right? So again,
Oh,
there's
okay.
a lot to unpack here.
So with Bitcoin right now, we're also going to see a lot of. I think this year, probably this year, I could see someone like Elon Musk or Tesla being like, "Hey guys, by the way, I put like 5% of Tesla's cash reserves into Bitcoin."
oh my God.
Once that happens, it's going to be like a domino effect of like all these companies from the S&P 500, which are the top 500.
No!
companies. They're gonna start announcing the same thing. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, we had some too. JP Morgan Chase, the bank, Jamie Dimon, the CEO, he's talking shit about Bitcoin. And I guarantee you, at the time that he was, his bank was buying it.
Baller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you do
Didn't
it.
That's how you do it. Oh, what else would you do?
amazing.
PayPal just announced something, right? That
So yeah, they're starting to integrate it, which is another reason
Yeah.
why
We're
it
off.
jumped. Yeah,
Right.
like
Mark-
because PayPal is gonna do it. Yeah.
Mark Cuban said he'd run for president when Bitcoin hits a million.
A million
Oh, yeah?
coin,
Yeah.
I hope he's alive by then. He's gonna be like 15, 20 years probably.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
insane.
It's
Okay,
a while away.
so yeah, though there's more than one cryptocurrency, right? So even on this list,
Okay. So
that I'm at
Ethereum
right now.
is my second favorite.
Okay.
Or really my close favorite.
most
for that.
people's second favorite.
Yeah, it is. It is the second favorite. It
Yeah.
is the poster child of and the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum is that Ethereum is gonna be like what's called the M1 global supply of money, probably. So M1 is like economy.
Damn, I'm sucking.
All the
I
physical
am
money that's
sucking.
circulating right now. That's like the
No.
coins and physical dollars, right?
The
So
London's not
Ethereum
working,
is like,
boys.
let's say we had $1. It's like you implanted a computer chip inside the dollar.
Okay.
It's like
We're
programmable.
back to
smart money.
300.
So if I wanted to, I could be like, all right, if you guys visit my YouTube channel, I will pay you X amount of dollars if you complete it by this amount of time. I could put in qualifiers for you to do. It's called a smart contract. So if you fulfill on that request, then you get sent the money. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
And the reason that's amazing is because of what's called DAOs.
Sorry about all that. It's my mom.
Pick it up. Mom's more important.
All right.
We always pick up for
Hey,
Dan.
hey, Ma.
Hi,
We're on Impulsive. Is everything okay?
it is. I was calling to make sure everything was okay with you.
So everything's great. Got Bitcoin. Learning more about Bitcoin. We're on Impulsive.
Dude,
I'll call.
Okay, we'll
Dude.
talk later.
All right.
I'm tripping.
Bye.
Bye, Pim.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I love my parents.
So yeah, Ethereum. It's a USD
Oh
with
my
a
God.
chip inside it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
So
it's the spendable. It's the more transactional
yeah,
type of crypto.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's cool is like Ethereum is going to allow us to do what are called DAOs, which are like the fancy word for it is decentralized autonomous organizations, which is basically like a company without any of the governance structure. So that's going to disrupt entire industries. So let's take a look at like real estate, right? When you buy a house, you have to get a real estate agent. You have to go find the house. You have to get funded for it. You have a
Gee
buyer's real
fucking
estate agent, a
G's,
seller's
brother.
real estate agent. Like it's a whole crazy process. Why couldn't I just talk to you and be
Oh,
like, can I buy your
God.
house?
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't it be
Oh
that
god,
simple?
we're back to where we started.
That's
All
what's gonna
right,
happen
that's
with Ethereum.
enough.
Very cool.
Ethereum's
I
gonna be like,
started
hey,
getting
I got this
too
house
fucking
locked
lazy
in
at
this
the
smart
end.
contract. If you send me X amount on Ethereum,
I
it's
was just
automatically
making
yours once you
stupid
fulfill
moves.
this parameter.
Stupid
is so cool.
moves.
So